My name is Chef Vikas Singh, and today we are going to do a topic of Unit 1, that is menu planning, and the name of the topic is basic menu planning. The objective of this session will be, of this topic will be to able to make you able to understand the various concepts of menu planning, and second is to able to plan a menu for various organizations. Menu planning, the definition. Menu planning means to compose a series of dishes for a meal. Composing a menu is an art and needs careful selection of dishes for the different courses so that each dish is harmonies with others. The planning meals is commercial catering establishments are based on economic considerations and reputation, then on the desire to provide nutritionally balanced diets. Dishes must be palatable as well as please the eyes. The menu planning for school feeding and industrial canteen hotels etc. have a different aspect where nutritious and balanced diet compiled. Different types of menus. So there are different types of menus that we will learn in this slide. So first one is table d'hôte. Table d'hôte is a fixed menu planned for complete meal at a fixed price. It is a meal of 3 to 4 courses with a limited choices of dishes and it is cooked in advance. It is daily change in rotation. Leftover food could be used in this type of menu as it helps to economize. Second is a la carte menu. It means the presentation of a long sequence of course and dish in menu. Each dish is individually priced. Dishes are cooked to order and the portion are large than table d'hôte menu. The guest has a wide choice and should be prepared to wait for this. Third is carte de jour menu. These are some type insert in a la carte menu which comprises a few special dishes of a day to vary a la carte menu regular customer. Some establishments have a set pattern for this menu. Example, roast chicken can be served on Monday, fish and chips on Tuesday, curry and rice Wednesday, etc. Banquet menu, the fourth one. Usually the menu composed for a number of people and necessary to know the reason for the banquet. It is usually a formal affair and dishes should be compiled to suit the occasion. The menu is elaborate and high class quality. It is fixed menu with no choices. Then we have buffet menu. There are two types of buffet. One is light buffet, another is fork buffet. The buffet tables are attractively decorated. The foods are served also colorful and eye appealing. Light buffet are given to various reasons to augment a long function. That is late in the evening, also given for tea dance and super dance. Fork buffet provide a variety of dishes and food can easily eaten by spoon or fork while standing. And the dishes are cold or hot canapes, sandwich, terrines, salad, cheese, game chips, smoked salmon, chicken mousse, eggs, ham, sausages, jellies, fruit salad, gato pastry, ice cream, etc. can be served in the buffet menu. Then we have a cocktail menu. The main ingredients are actually beverages. Very tiny savory snacks are served such as stuffed olives, gherkins, walnuts, game chips, salted almonds, bacon roll, cheese fritter, canapes, tandoori, seekh kebab, other things can be added. Then what are the principles of menu planning? So now in this slide we will see what are the basic principles of menu planning. The first point is type of meal. Different types of breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper, etc. We have to plan a different menu for each type of meal. So there are various types of meal. The first one is breakfast. There are three kinds of types of breakfast. It is continental, English and American. Continental breakfast, it is a light breakfast, comprises of brioche bread, croissant, jam, jelly, marmalade and tea or coffee. Very very basic ingredient dishes are being served. Then we have English breakfast. It is a large scale of menu. It is a lavish breakfast, consists of 2 or 8 courses and usually includes a cooked main course. Then we have American breakfast. Here is a wide choice of menus served in buffet. The menu compiled with different types of breads, cold items, hot cooked items, variety of juices, eggs of choice, cold and hot beverages guests can choose on their own. Then we have luncheon menu or lunch menu. Menus are usually shorter than dinner with less courses and simpler dishes, but more choices within each course. It is a quick affair and dinner is taken more leisurely. Dinner menu. This menu comprises highly garnished classical dishes. Here one has a scope of showing one's skill of compiling menu with a choice of more esteemed and rarest and exotic dishes. For example, large joints could be carved in the restaurant in front of the guests, or flambé dish could be served. Balance must be perfected throughout the long complicated number of dishes. There can be a show kitchen as well in dinner menu. There can be various counters for live kitchens can be there. Supper menu. A full buffet is given for supper. All the dishes are very well decorated, giving a good display. Supper can also refer to a light meal or snack that is eaten late in the evening. Then second point we will come is the type of establishment. Menu planning will vary according to the type of the establishment. Hotel, restaurant, hostel, hospital, industrial canteen, institutional. So it varies. The menu for hotel or restaurant will be a la carte, buffet, banquet, table d'hôte. The dishes will please the eyes and palate and will be determined by the customer's appetite and pocket. On the other hand, hostel, hospitals and canteens will have asset pattern and will offer meal to provide nutritionally balanced diets with a limited budget. As there is no choice and variety given will minimize the monotony and food preference must be seen. Cyclic menu is generally given in hostels if you see, or employees in the industrial catering to the employees to break the monotony. Then third is type of customer or guest who is coming. Customer can affect the type of food served because of the following factors: demographic, religion, age, gender, occupation. The young boys will need substantial meal, whereas young girls prefer dainty and small portions of dishes. And fourth, we have season of the year and seasonal availability of ingredients. Season is important in the choice of food. Cool, crisp and fresh foods are ideal for summer, and in winter heavier, richer and high in calorific value required. Although in these days cold storage foods are available throughout the year, but fresh from season must be available in the menu as they are fresh, colorful and flavorful. They are available in reasonable price and should obtain locally. Fifth point is occasion. Special dishes for certain days or time of the year should be considered during menu planning. For example, roast turkey at Christmas, special egg at Easter, sheer keema at Eid, sweet rice for Basant, etc. are the seasonal and occasional expectations. Capability of kitchen staff. The kitchen staff capability have to be seen. Whether they are able to cope with high class cookery, whether they are experienced and have a good skill and knowledge, If the staff are not capable, it will be difficult to produce quality meals. Equally, the service staff and also plays an important role. They must be efficient, highly skilled, well-dressed and well-mannered. Seventh point is equipment of the kitchen. During menu planning, it is important to see that the kitchen is well equipped as to be able to cope up with the presentation of various dishes. Care should be taken to see the method of cooking is not repeated. Otherwise, certain equipment would be overloaded, and also there will be a monotony of the same type of dishes. Then 8th point, we have price of the menu. Always given a value for money. The food cost should not exceed 40% of the selling price on an average. For 5-star hotel, food cost is generally 20 to 25%. The balance in menu. For menu planning, this is very important when compiling menus and special menus. The following points should be considered. Reception of ingredients and words. The basic ingredients of the menu should never be repeated as it becomes monotonous. For example, if tomato soup is appearing in the menu, then tomato never reappears. Same as when classical dishes are appear with the garnish, the same garnish should not reappear. Repetition of color. When compiling the menu, it should have a colorful variety. The menu consists of celery soup, chicken in white sauce, turnip and cream potato and vanilla ice cream, which are all white. It is bound to look very dull. Hence, while making a menu, we should consider their color should not be repeated again and again. Avoid overbalance of a menu. If many courses are served, then care must be taken to ensure that they are neither too light nor too heavy. Texture of the course. Some food should be soft when other food requires chewing to consume. Avoid menus with same texture. Offer food with various textures. Example, cream of tomato, roast chicken, buttered peas, game chips, baked apple pie. Seasoning. Do not over season the food. If strong herbs are used in one dish, then never repeat in another dish in the same meal. Garnishes. This must be appropriate, attractive and simple. Food value. Special attention should be paid to different requirement of different groups of people. Meals served to children, adolescent, adult, old age group, expected mothers should be nutritionally balanced. Color. Sensible use of color in all dishes will give them an eye appeal. Deep, vivid color should be avoided. Dark looking dishes can be improved by an attractive and colorful garnish. Wording of menu. During menu planning, the following points should be considered. Select language which guest can understand. If menu is in French, give an English translation. Never use mixture of language for the course of a menu. Spelling of the words should be correct. Merchandising menu. Menu are planned and designed should reflect the policy and thinking of the management and should ensure profit. The menu should be organized. Similar items should be written under attractive headlines and if possible effective description should be given. Now we will come to the question answer session and we have some questions for practice that you must write down in your notebooks, food production notebooks, and that will help you in your exams and also to enhance your knowledge further. The first is that what are the main factors considered for menu planning? Second, plan a 3-course French classical menu for 100 patch buffet. Third, list the principles of menu planning. Fourth, elaborate different types of menus. References books that are considered here are Quantity Food Production Operations in Indian Cuisine by Parminder S. Bali and Practical Cookery by Thangam E. Philip.